everyone, my name is Chirag Patil and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is the second video of the playlist about the LangChain. So in this video, we will see what is prompt engineering and what are the prompt templates in the LangChain. So let's get started. So first of all, what is prompt, right? So prompt is nothing but an instruction, or you can say string, which we are providing to the LLM to generate our answer, right? So tuning the prompt and getting the better prompt to get the best answer, it's called as a prompt engineering, right? So when working with the large language model, prompt engineering is the key to guiding these models to deliver accurate and relevant outputs, right? So a well-crafted prompt acts like a precise instruction for highly capable but literal mindset assistant, right? So what does it mean by literal mindset? So whenever you provide some instruction to the LLM, right, it will follow that instruction and provide the answer. So it is your task to provide precise and accurate instruction to it, because it will not use its own brain, right? Whatever you will provide, it will generate the answer accordingly. That should be very clear, right? The way you structure and write your prompt directly affect the quality, relevance and effectiveness of the model response. As I say, it is having a literal mindset, it will follow your instruction, right? So there are a few guidelines for crafting effective prompts, right? I'm sure you had used ChatGPT anywhere, right? And you had written something to provide the generate the answer, right? So that is nothing but it is the prompt for the ChatGPT, right? You are providing the instruction or information to get your desired output. So there are few guidelines for creating effective prompts. Let's see one by one. First is the clarity. So be clear and specific in your instruction to avoid ambiguity. Well-defined prompt reduce the chance of irrelevant, unexpected outputs, right? So as I say, you should be very clear what is your expectation, or you can say what you want from that model, right? So if you, let's say you want a classification or task from the model, and you can write, be very clear, right? Classify this sentence into positive or negative, right? If you say like in the short, like classify this sentence for the sentiment analysis, so it can provide answer in, let's say, a negative, positive and neutral, right? But what if you want only answer in the negative or positive sense? So at that time you need to be clear, right? Provide the answer in negative or positive, right? The second thing, provide the context. So the context is also very important when you are assigning a something task or some instruction, right? So it will provide a background knowledge to the LLM. So for example, whenever you are creating a prompt for customer support chatbot, right? So in that you should mention like to the model that you are a customer support chatbot or customer support assistant, and your task is to resolve the user's query in very effective and polite way, right? So it will provide the context to model like what it is or what task it is performing, right? And second thing you can see, like you should provide a knowledge as well, like let's say sometimes you need to provide some context, like from this provide the answer, right? So at that time this work as a background knowledge or a proper context, so model can understand your task and perform better. The third thing can be define your goal explicitly, right? So you need to specify, it is like related to the clarity, but you need to be very specific what you want, right? So for example, you want a one paragraph answer, right? So you need to write like provide the answer into the one paragraph, right? And you can write like provide the answer in very creative manner, use this kind of English, like use formal English, use very high level words, right? Very rich vocabulary. So it will perform like that. And for example, some scenarios you want the answer in the JSON format, right? So you need to be clear, very clear at that time as well, right? I want the answer in the JSON format. This should be the key and this should be the relevant answer. So by using that information or prompt, model will provide the better answer, right? And last thing, iterate and refine. So as it's called prompt engineering, you need to do experiment with your different prompts, right? So you will not get the best prompt at the first attempt. We need to provide or iterate different prompt and say how it is providing the result and improve the relevant prompt, right? So at the end you will get the best prompt which is performing better on your task, right? So these are few guidance about creating the prompt. So if I provide one example, right? So as I mentioned, we need to very clear and we need to provide a very good instruction, right, in detail. So I just written here two prompts. So our task is to basically encourage the student for upcoming mathematics test, right? So let's say I'm just writing this prompt, which is nothing, just a shallow information, right? Motivate the student. Sorry. Okay. Let me copy it. I'm just using ChatGPT to show you how it will affect the answer, right? So I'm just writing here motivate the student for their upcoming test, right? Let's see what is the answer. Yeah, so here is the remember this test. So started with absolutely remember this test is opportunity to show you have learned how far you come, right? And so on. And if I use this prompt, which is very detailed, right? So prompt says create a motivational message for high school student. We are mentioning the detail, right? Not the student, we have the high school student preparing for the math test, right? We haven't provided any subject here as well. And we are providing what we need to include, right? Include a reminder of recent hard work and progress, encourage the focus on challenging topics, right? Now let's run this. Yeah. So if you see, it is very detailed answer, right? So you can say, hey there, math whiz. So it is like providing a personalized answer for a particular subject, right? And providing in much detailed answer. So it's depend on you how you want the answer, right? And that manner you need to craft your prompt basically. Okay, so now let's see, there is a prompt template in the LangChain, and what are the prompt templates and how we can utilize that, right? So LangChain prompt template is a structure designed to help format prompt effectively for the large language model. Okay, it's typically include the three component basically. So one could be a basic prompt, second will be formatting guidelines, and third is the input parameter, right? So the prompt template is nothing but a predefined template or structure which you can utilize to create your prompt. There is no compulsory need to use the LangChain prompt template, okay? But it would be good if you utilize the prompt template. It would be provide a common way, right? If you pass the project to someone else, so they can easily extend or understand this prompt template because you are working in the same framework, right? If you we will when we see the prompt, you can see like you can create your own prompt easily without the prompt template, but it is LangChain encourage you to use the prompt template, okay? So let's see the basic prompt. So basic prompt text is nothing but a natural language text what we had passed here in ChatGPT, right? The simple text. It can be a simple text string or dynamic f string, right, with the placeholder, allowing a variable content to the update as needed, okay? The second thing, formatting guidelines. So formatting guidelines is nothing but like you are providing the formats to the prompt and the answer as well, right? So how format dynamic content, like such as whether specific words should be italic, capitalized, or enhance the clarity or emphasize, right? So it can be like if you are using the markdown, you can use the star character for the bold, right? Kind of thing you can provide this into the prompt as well, so that the word which can be italic, bold, and same for the response as well. You can provide the guidelines like I need the response in this, like title should be in the bold kind of thing, right? And last is the input parameter. So whenever you want to create a dynamic prompts, right, so it should contain a input from the user, right? So it could be a dynamic prompt, and that, for example, if you are using chaining, right, two models chain, so first model's output will go as an input to the another LLM, right? So at that time we also require the input parameters, right? So these are the additional parameter we will pass, like context you can pass in the prompt. So for each question the context should be different, right? So your prompt should be a dynamic and take the input parameter dynamic, right? Yeah, so this is about the prompt template, and there are few prompt template which are very useful. There are basically, I had mentioned here three prompt templates. One is a prompt template, second is a FewShotPromptTemplate, and third is a ChatPromptTemplate, right? So let's one by one. Let's see one by one. So first is a prompt template. So this prompt template is a very simple, and you can consider it as an like only format string or app string, right? So let's see how it works. So first of all, let's import, let's say from LangChain dot prompts import prompt template. Okay, so we require this prompt template. Let's see. Okay, so now this prompt template is a method. Prompt template is basically class. It contains one method which is a from template. Okay, so let's write prompt template will be prompt template dot from template, and you need to pass only a string here. Okay, whatever you want. So let's say I'm writing, tell me a joke about, and let's say this will be our input parameter. Okay, let's say topic. So topic we will receive from the user. Okay, so this is a dynamic prompt, or you can see like it is nothing but only app string, right? And inbuilt also it is using the Python app string. Okay, so you can easily achieve. I will show you how we can easily achieve this without the prompt template, right? So let me run, and for the running we will use invoke. Okay, invoke method template dot invoke. So these are all the I would say type of runnable thing in the LangChain. So it is like protocol in the LangChain which comes with the inbuilt feature something, right? So as of now you just think like by using the invoke method it will run this. Okay, so let's pass prompt template dot invoke, and we need to pass our this topic like which has a dynamic. So invoke method will receive one dictionary in which we will provide a topic. Okay, so let's say provide the tell me a joke about, let's say, college. Okay, so when I will invoke, it will return a string, or you can say string prompt value, which will be tell me a joke about the college, right? So this college is replaced here. So same thing you can use using app string, right? Let's say tmp will be tell me a joke, and like this, right? Simple. So if you are using app string you need to provide the variable, otherwise you can write like this as well, tmp dot format, and provide, let me write here topic, and you can write like topic is equal to college. Yes, same, right? But it has its own class basically, prompt template, and this one. But if you use this, it would be very easy to understand for other member as well in your project, right? Because everyone has different type of writing skill, right? You can use this format as well, you can use the here app string as well, right? So it would be better to use common modules, right? The second thing is chat prompt template. So whenever you are creating a chatbot kind of thing, right? When there is a system, there is a AI message and the user message, right? So at that time we are using chat prompt templates. So chat prompt template class is designed to manage the flow of conversation between a user and AI system, right? So whenever you are building an AI chatbot, there is a system which is the AI, and there is a user which asks the query, right? So it allows you to specify different roles such as user, system, and assistant. The specific roles available will depend on the LLM model you are using, right? So some LLM use like AI, user, and system. Some can be used like system, and let's say instead of user there can use the candidate kind of thing, right? So that roles are basically depends on your LLM. Okay, the roles help provide the LLM with important context, leading to more relevant information, right? So LLM will understand like what are the systems part, what he talked, or whatever the query from the user, right? So it will provide the more context to the LLM. When I will write the prompt, you will get the better idea. Okay, so let's write the prompt. So let me import first from LangChain code dot prompts import chat prompt template. Okay, yeah. So in chat prompt templates, as I say, there are a role and system, right? So let me write prompt template. It will be chat prompt template, and it will take input a list, which is basically a sequence, right, in which we are passing a tuples which are related to a system and UI. Okay, so let me write So first of all, we will provide, let's say, system. Okay, and system can be, we will provide like, let's say, you are or you can provide like, you are helpful assistant. Okay, so now we need to provide, let's say, user. Okay, so what user will do here, user can ask something, right? So let's say user will ask, tell me a joke. Okay, so this is a simple, so system will provide basically a background information, or you can say a context, right? So in this we are saying to the LLM that you are a helpful assistant. Okay, it should be small, let's say. So we are saying you are a helpful assistant, and then we are asking a question like, tell me a joke. Or you can ask like, let's say, assistant related question. Let's say, what is the weather today, right? And now let's run this. Okay, we need to provide the invoke, right? Let's say prompt.invoke, and we don't need any information here. Okay, so let's say PromptTemplate. Okay, so missing one argument, which is input. Okay, so basically here user will provide some answer, right? So let me provide one answer. Okay, just for a simplicity. Okay, I'll add later. Let me write here like, let it be user input. Okay, so now it should be in the string format, so same as we had used in this here, right, in the simple prompt template. So now invoke method will receive one dictionary, which will be, let's say, user input, and we will provide, tell me a joke. Okay, okay, user input is not defined. What happened? Okay, so if you see, we had this all thing here, right? So first is you are the helpful assistant, and there are some additional argument which we haven't passed yet, and content is what is the weather today. And now whatever the response will be, it will be provided as a like this. Let me write here. So it will be like AI, right? AI will provide you the response. So you can write like, so what I am tell me a joke. So let me write just simple. Here is a joke, simple thing, right? And now, so this would be now, because AI provided the response, we are just writing, let's say, tell me a joke. And now again, here user will provide some question, right? So let's say, how are you? Simple thing, right? So if you see, it will contain this all history. Okay, tuple object is not callable. Okay, there is one comma is missing. When I will invoke, so here also I need to provide the user input. Let's say, okay, so here if you see a human message, it's inside the human message, right? You can, this is also one kind of, you can say, prompt template as well, the human message and system message, right? So system message is generally whatever you want to provide the information to the system, right? And human message is whatever user is providing the as an input, it would be a human message. And AI message is whatever the output we are getting from the LLM, it will be inside this AI message. Okay, so when we will implement our application using the chat prompt template and prompt template, we will see what are the responses are, right? So these are the basically response you can consider at least now. Okay, so this is about chat prompt templates. Whenever you are building a chatbot kind of thing, you should use chat prompt template. Okay, third is a FewShotPromptTemplate. So one of the most effective ways to improve the model performance is to give model example of what you want it to do, right? So sometimes your task is model can understand your task, but you need to provide some information so it can perform better and provide your desired output, right? So whenever you want to provide some information to the model, there are 2 to 3 ways, right? First is you can train the whole model for your particular specific task, right, which is very time consuming and expensive, and you should have that much large data, right? The second thing, you can provide a context, right, like provide the answer from above context, okay? And third is you can provide the example, like understand the above example and provide the answer accordingly, right? So when you provide the examples, it is inside the a few shot prompting, you can say. So by providing the example, you are teaching the LLM like understand this and provide the answer from this, right? So I just mentioned few examples here. I will write the few shot prompt here. Okay, so let me first import. Let me run this. So let's say from LangChain dot prompts import few shot template. Okay, what is few shot prompt template from LangChain prompts? Okay, this would be like this, spelling mistake. Okay, so we imported few shot prompt template. So few shot prompt template needs, you can say, 3 to 4 arguments. Okay, so first would be the example itself, because we need to provide example. It's called a few shot, right? The second thing, example prompt. The third thing, input variable, which will be provided by the user, right? And prefix and suffix. So let's see. So let's say prompt template will be few shot prompt template, right? So it will require a example prompt. So let's define first example prompt. Okay, if you see in our examples, right, so we have question and response. So we need to utilize this question and response key in our example prompt, right? So let me write example prompt will be, we are using prompt template. Okay, so instead of using dot prompt template, we will use here, let's say, input variable. Input variables will be our question and a response, right? And then we will provide a template which is nothing but a simple string which will utilize this question and response, right? So let's say template will be question, and let's say it would be a question, and we are providing the response in the next line. Okay, so let's say response. So this is our simplest example prompt. You can modify it according to your need, right? So it is nothing but from the each example we were providing this question here, and this response will be pasted here, right? So this will be our example prompt. Let's run. Okay, so for few shot we need to provide, let's say, first examples. Okay, so examples will be, let's say, examples, what we have provided the name, the example, right? Let me run it as well. So it is our example. Now second will be example prompt. Okay, so example prompt, which is nothing but now we had created. Okay, example prompt. Third thing will be input variable. So these are the input variable of few shot prompting. Okay, not the example. In the example we had provided the question and response, but this input variable is for getting the input from the user. Okay, so whatever the user will ask will be passed to here. So let me write it like that, say candidate query. Okay, simple. Now we need to provide prefix and suffix. So prefix and suffix are the part which will added at the end or at the start, right? So whenever you provide some prefix, it will be passed at the starting of the prompt, and when you provide the suffix, it will be at the end of the prompt. Okay, so when you will print this prompt, you will get the better idea. Let's say prefix will be, let's say, let me write, here are some example of customer inquiry, let's say. Okay, customer inquiry about returns. Okay, let's write slash n. So these are the questions related to a return. Okay, product returns. How do I return the defective product? What is your return policy, etc. Right? So we are providing the context, like here are some example of customer inquiries, and now after this slash n, this example will be pasted there. Okay, and now last thing we can add is suffix. Okay, so let's say suffix will be, we can write based on the example, answer the following question, and let me write here candidate query, right? So let's pass here slash n as well, right? It would be a better to see, right? So this is our few short prompt templates. So let me invoke this. Okay, there is one issue, extra input are not permitted, input value candidate query. Okay, so it is the candidate query, and candidate query is the same. I think there is some issue. Let's run again and see. Okay, I think I had made some a typo or what. Let's say candidate query is candidate query input variables. Okay, so it should be input variables, right? Not the variable, because we are passing here a list, so it would be variables, right? So let's invoke this. Let's say prompt template. Okay, so it will provide, let me write it like this. Okay, so let's first write candidate query. Okay, candidate query will be what to do if I receive wrong product. Simple question, right? Now we will use the response. It is not the actual response, but you can say a template response, because you haven't passed it yet to the LLM, right? So let's say response will be prompt template is equal to prompt template dot invoke, right? And we will pass candidate query. Okay, so now let's run and see the response. Okay, how our prompt is crafted here. Okay, so yeah, so if you see, the first is a message, system message. So you are a helpful assistant. Okay, I think there is some issue. Prompt template, oh, there is a typo here as well, sorry. So it would be like this. Let's run, see. Yeah, so here is the output what we require, right? So if you see, this prefix has pasted in the first, right? So you can see, like let me do one thing. So it is a string prompt value. Let me access the text value of it and let me print it. Okay, so it will print in the very good visible manner. Okay, yeah, here. So if you see, our prefix is pasted here, like here are some example of customer inquiry about the return, and then our example are here, right? So if you see, these are our examples, right? And second thing is the suffix. So based on the example, answer the following question, and now this is the question, right? What we had provided, basically a candidate query, what to do if I receive the wrong product, right? Simple. And if you see, this example prompt is nothing but a very placeholder with the question key. Okay, so if I write here, let me show that usual, right? So when you invoke this, okay, let's provide example of 0. So it will accept a dictionary. Okay, because we need to, whenever we invoke the method, we are passing the input as a dictionary. Okay, so example prompt dot invoke will be examples of 0. It is basically basic prompt template, right? So let's run. Yeah, so if you see here, so it's nothing but like question colon what is your return policy, and slash n is your answer, right? So if I access the text here and print, you will get a better idea. Yep. So in FewShot prompt template, it will iterate for the each example and paste here, right? Add in the your existing prompt. Right? So in the prompt template, whenever you are using FewShot prompt template, you can pass a basic string here. Okay, no need to provide input as a dictionary format right here. So if you see here a candidate query, you are just passing as an you can say a string, but if you have multiple, you can provide the dictionary. Okay. Yeah, so that's I think all for about the prompt template and prompt engineering about this LangChain. Okay, so if you have any query or doubt, you can write in the comment section, we can discuss that. And if you like my video, please press the like button and subscribe my channel. Thank you.